Behind every clean corridor, every secure environment, and every smooth interaction with customers, there's a workforce behind, and my role is to keep them motivated and make sure that they feel valued. When you talk about AI and technology, I think this should not be HR versus technology. In future, it should be HR with technology. My purpose to coming to this retail and mall industry was purely based on people and culture. In mall industry, in shopping mall, the HR has to be on the floor.
Welcome back to Sayyid Talks, the podcast where we dive into the strategies and systems that drive organizational excellence. I'm your host, Sayyid Zain Heather. Today, we are tackling a concept that is crucial to success in dynamic, customer facing businesses, HR in high foot traffic environments, the blended workforce. We are talking about the unique complexities of managing a diverse team from permanent staff to contract workers in place like major retail stores where the pace is fast and consistently operational excellence is non-negotiable. To help us navigate this challenge and high stakes environment, I'm thrilled to introduce a true expert in strategic human resources. He brings a wealth of experience from complex, high volume settings, including his current influential position. He's focused on building high performance cultures and ensuring operational excellence across large, diverse teams. Please welcome our guest for today, Mr. Mohammad Faisal Latif, General Manager HR at Dolmen Mall.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. You introduced quite nicely. Yes, I'm currently heading HR for Dolmen Mall Lahore. It's a kind of a mini city where thousands of um, visitors come every year, and behind every clean corridor, every secure environment, and every smooth interaction with customers, there's a workforce behind, and my role is to keep them motivated and make sure that they feel valued. And this is exactly my job role currently with Dolmen.
That sounds perfect. Mr. Faisal, before we jump into the deep end of managing a blended workforce in a high foot traffic environment, could you just quickly tell our listeners a little bit about your current focus and what excites you the most of the interaction of HR and businesses strategy in a place like Dorman Mall?
Well, it is slightly different from the typical corporate HR. The mall HR is operating slightly differently. Having blended workforce, because not only you have your internal staff, but you also have the outsourced staff, and you have hundreds of tenants working with you. Different brands, retail brands are working with you. It's very challenging for an HR head and for the HR team to actually combine all those efforts into one experience for a customer who walks into our mall. For the customer, it's not uh, the tenant, it's not the outsourced staff, and neither it's internal core team of Dolmen. It's basically the overall Dolmen experience that they want to enjoy. um, from the retail perspective, that combined training of the observation based whatever we think, uh, uh, benchmarking Dolmen standard, to make sure that equalizing all the efforts and then delivering the customer experience that we want our customers to have and enjoy. It's very challenging to combine all of them, syncing their mindset with us and making it look like a family and one team. So far, I've been trying our best, um, and thanks to the leadership who has um, given this sort of uh, more experience in Lahore also. We've been having this small in Karachi where similar sort of experience were being witnessed. Here in Lahore, we're trying to benchmark that also and trying to, go beyond this service delivery.
How do you foster a single unified culture and sense of belonging among the contract staff and who may feel like outsiders in the permanent team? Like, how do you?
Well, in mall language, if you say, that's a very famous saying that if you take care of your employees will take care of your customers. Um, so, answering to your question, uh, our culture, I personally joined Dolmen on the basis of what kind of a transformation I can do for Dolmen. Um, and the administrative and old school of HR has been part of such organization where um, they have been custodian of compensation, trainings, recruitment, and all. But my purpose to coming to this retail and mall industry was purely based on people and culture. So one has to be people centric, and when you talk about AI and technology, uh, I think this should not be HR versus technology. In future, it should be HR with technology. Um, Technology should not be used for some automation purposes when you talk about HR. It should be used for people analytics purpose for a professional like me. So culture has been very close to my heart ever since I started with Dolmen. When I see that being old school stuff and stuff being working in the isolation in silos, so breaking that barrier was kind of a challenge. um, and then I was able to actually introduce a few interventions such as celebration of different events come across. And going out, taking breaks, going out during working hours, enjoying an away day for team. Uh, you know, Conducting any sports event. For instance, we have engaged our about thousands of employee into a cricket tournament in recent past. So we went on a picnic. We celebrate 14th August. We celebrate Women's Day. We celebrate uh, different events that come. For instance, we get together during the Eid festival. Also, we distribute gifts, giveaways to our workers just to keep them motivated and uh, make them feel associated with the with Dolmen. Now, coming back to your question to how we can actually um, you know bring that uniformity into a different sort of workforce, diversified mindset working with us. For instance, our staff, tenant staff, retailer staff, and then outsourcer जिनके साथ हमारे SLAs हैं, keeping them into a one um, tunnel vision and one outcome, one objective uh, has been a challenge. And Alhamdulillah, we have been successfully delivering our services. The more footfall comes in, the more services improves because once we receive the complaints, that's an opportunity for us to deliver better. It's not about how we are solving the problem. It's about how we are actually listening to the problems and how quickly and efficiently we're responding to the problems of our customers. So it has been a challenge, but I guess uh, this is how we've been working and enjoying.
Sir, next coming towards standardized training. So, what methods do you use, to ensure the uniform standards across all the roles in the mall, employees and all the workers?
Well, then in mall business, I think the best HR is the HR that is at the shop, not in the office. So I think one of the key success factor for me in my training team was that we have been observing problems, content for our training. So one typical exercise that all the organizations and over the past 15, 16 years of my experience I've been doing that is called learning need assessment. I would go with all the line managers and head of departments, finding out their team's training requirements. I will get that. I'll do some calibration with them. However, I'll get some data specifically to individual specific level or specifically to their soft skills or their technical needs. That is that has been one of the way of learning the training needs. But in mall industry, in shopping mall, the HR has to be on the floor to be able to understand um, the problems that we can rectify through our training programs, be it a customer interaction, be it anti harassment, things that we can include, or any fire or safety hazards, or anything that we can observe. We do that. And the last but not least, one of the ways to actually educate your employees on certain programs. It could be the company's values. It could be road safety as part of the CSR. It could be service etiquettes. So there are a few programs that we keep them mandatory in our business, and some programs that comes need basis, and some comes through the observation base. And there are developmental programs also that keeps going throughout the year for potential talent with us जिसको हम future में कुछ देखना चाहते हैं, and then we bring those interventions for those employees also.
So, sir, talking about the compliance and risk, what is the biggest legal or regulatory compliance risk posed by managing a blended workforce, and how do you mitigate it?
They're basically the third party key labor compliance करवाना. I think especially in Punjab because I've been in Sindh for past 30, 40 years. यहाँ पे आके एक number one challenge ये रहा है मुझे. I've been uh, following up a lot with our third party contractors because उनकी labor compliance करवाना is our responsibility, Dolmen's responsibility. So this is one of the challenge. However, for our employees, we want to make sure that with our industrial relationship knowledge, our all our labor compliance are being 100% followed in Dolmen, and that has been the rule of thumb for Karachi. And now, since we're operating in Lahore and following all Punjab labor policies and regulation, we follow that as the government of Pakistan.
So, as you said, कि आपके like third party outsourced interactions होते हैं. So, my next question is, when an interpersonal conflict or any issue arises, मतलब आप उसको कैसे cater करते हैं?
So we leave the line managers to decide upon it. Once they resolve it, we clap. But if they are unable to resolve it, so as a mediator, we come into it, we do the investigation and uh, hear both sides of the story, find out what's the root cause, and based on that, we try to resolve it. At the end of the day, our objective is to give a good customer experience, and whether it coming from our internal team or from the third party resource or from a tenant or retailer's worker, we our ultimate objective is to satisfy the customer and give them the experience they are here for. So obviously, HR interventions is just when we think that it is not being resolved between the third party and our supervisors who are supervising them, and then we intervene and try to find out the root cause and then try to solve it. Usually, it hasn't been a bigger challenge so far. Challenges that I mentioned earlier in this podcast. Other than that, there are multiple other challenges which are not considered major challenges, and this is one of the challenges like our labor compliances, the workforce conflicts is part and parcel of HR job, and we've been doing it successfully.
So, Mr. Fessers, this has been an incredible, insightful conversation. We moved from defining the blended workforce as a necessity in high foot traffic environments to identify the core challenges like ensuring consistent brand experience, managing a high volume of temporary staff, and maintaining a single cohesive culture across the different employment types. So thank you so much for sharing your expertise and how to manage and more importantly optimize the HR strategies in this unique and demanding sector.
My pleasure.
So, to our listeners, I hope this episode gives you a framework for auditing your own organization's people practices. So, if you enjoyed this conversation, please remember to subscribe to Sayyid Talks whenever you listen to podcasts. You can also contact with us and share your thoughts on today's topic on our social media handles. So join us next time. We continue to explore the systems that drive sustainable success. I'm your host, Sayyid Zainab. Thank you.